Hey, it's Sam from Sugar Spun Run, and today we're making a breakfast casserole. I feel like no holiday morning breakfast is complete without a really good breakfast casserole. This is my version. I made a lot of versions to get here. Super happy with it, and I'm really excited for you to try it. Let's get right to it. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to be baking this casserole in a 13x9 baking dish. I'm using a ceramic one. Glass would also be fine. If you use a metal one, you're going to want to notch down the baking time a little bit because it's going to cook faster. I've lightly greased this with some butter, salted, unsalted, either's fine here. And we're going to add our hash browns right into this pan. So this is 2 cups of diced hash browns. I really prefer the diced ones here. I'm just gonna scatter them. You can see I have not thawed them, or here that I have not thawed them. Just scatter them over the pan. And this is 255 grams of hash browns. So now that's set aside, we're going to head over to the stovetop. And here is where we're going to cook our sausage. And this is a pound of breakfast sausage. We're going to cook it in the saucepan over medium heat, crumbling as we go until it's browned and cooked through. So I really like to use a breakfast sausage here, but you could alternatively use bacon. Bacon does make it a little bit richer. All of my taste testers preferred this with breakfast sausage instead, but I just wanted to let you know you have options. Make a little room over here. Bring our casserole dish back. All right, once this is cooked through, no longer pink, we are going to drain it and scatter it over those hash browns. I'm just using this slotted spatula so I'm not picking up any of the grease that's in the pan. There's really not that much actually. And then I'm going to drain the grease from the pan, but I'm not gonna wipe it out because we are going to use that to flavor the onions and peppers and garlic that we're going to be cooking in the next step. Let's get rid of that grease. All right, slide this back out of the way. All right, there should be a little grease left in your pan. If there's not, you might have to add a little bit of butter or oil just to help cook your veggies. So for veggies, we are using about a cup of onion. This is like 1 medium-sized onion diced. Add that to the pan. And I'm also going to use 1 red bell pepper, which I have also cut up nice and small. I like to cut it a little bit small like this just because it helps distribute the pepper nicely. And I'm not sure if I already said this, this is about a cup as well. So we're going to cook these until they're softened. This is a little drier than I thought, so I'm gonna add a little bit of butter just to keep everything from burning. Not the conventional way to do it, you normally wanna melt that butter first. All right, once this is nicely softened, we're going to add a little bit of garlic. We'll add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Oh, I do not waste garlic any more than I waste butter, let me tell you. And we're just going to cook the garlic really briefly. It takes like 30 seconds, get it nice and fragrant. You always wanna be careful that you don't burn your garlic because burnt garlic has a really bad and bitter taste. Smells so good. All right, let's bring back baking dish. See, some of my pepper jumped out of my pan already. And we are just going to scatter this evenly over the sausage and the potatoes. So the next thing we need is some cheese. We're going to be using 8 ounces or 2 cups, or what is that? 226 grams of shredded cheese. This is a sharp cheddar cheese, and I'm just going to sprinkle this over the rest of the ingredients. And even though things seem pretty well distributed, I'm going to just toss everything together. I got rid of my regular spatula, so I'm gonna use my mini one. And I'll just toss everything together in here. Mix it up a little bit. It's making me hungry. Most important ingredient here, well, one of the most important ingredients is our eggs. You are going to need 12 large eggs for this recipe. So a dozen eggs. Great way to use up a lot of eggs if you've got chickens like I do. For those of you who are particularly observant, you'll notice that this is larger than a standard large egg. If you have a couple of extra large eggs in there, it's gonna work out just fine. A few of these eggs are actually a little smaller too. So when I test my recipes, I make sure I use large eggs. We weigh them, but once the recipe's perfected, I get a little bit more lenient with the sizes. Not gonna make you watch me crack all of them. Ooh, unless I start doing fancy tricks like that. That was lucky. What a pro. So I got good at cracking eggs with one hand for a while when Rhett was a baby, and he would never let me put him down during breakfast, and I didn't want to put him in the carrier, so I just had to do the one-handed egg crack if I wanted to have scrambled eggs for breakfast, which I eat scrambled eggs for breakfast just about every morning. And I recently shared a video on how I make scrambled eggs. You should really be cracking these in a separate dish, just in case you get any shell in there. It doesn't look as cool if you do that. All right, last one. I'll wash my hands. Could have been better, could have been worse. All right, next we're going to add our dairy. I've got 3/4 cup of heavy cream here. Add that right in. And a 1/4 cup of milk. You can get a little bit creative with the dairy if you want. So you could use, you want to use 1 cup. So you could use a cup of half and half if you want things a little bit lighter. You could use slightly more milk, slightly less cream. You could even swap the milk out for a little bit of sour cream. That would be nice too. But after a lot of testing, this was just the balance that I liked best. So I'm also going to add a little bit of spice. I like a little bit of Tabasco sauce. I'm going to add 5 drops of that. 1, 2, 3, 5-ish, along with 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of table salt, and then I'm also going to add a little bit of nutmeg. This is optional, but personally I love it. I use it in my quiche, adds a really nice depth of flavor. This is just an 1/8, it's like a slightly rounded 1/8 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. Really, really like the flavor it adds. So then we'll whisk everything together. You want to make sure everything is really well combined. Get those egg yolks nicely broken up. Need a bigger whisk. Do yourself a favor and whisk the eggs by themselves first and then add the other ingredients. It'll just make it a little easier to make sure you've broken up all those egg yolks. Almost ready for the oven here. I'm just going to pour this evenly over the mixture. I mean, it does a pretty good job of distributing itself if you're not perfect, but I like to help it along. Give it a couple of little gentle pokes. All right, now we are off to the oven. So we're going to bake this. I don't cover it with foil or anything. Bake it in your center rack, 375-degree Fahrenheit oven, which is 190 degrees Celsius if you use Celsius. It's gonna need to bake for about 40 to 45 minutes. So the way I like to tell that it's done is if you give it a little bit of jiggle, the center might be very slightly jiggly, but it should be mostly set. If you're really worried about it, you can take a thermometer, like a meat thermometer, instant read thermometer, check the temperature in the center. It should reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so you are going to want to let this cool before you dig in. Obviously serve it warm, just don't burn yourself and then come back and be mad at me, please. All right, let's dig in so you can see how this looks. I'm gonna do a cut from the middle. Oh yeah. And that is how you make my favorite breakfast casserole. If you're looking for a sweet breakfast option, check out my bread pudding that I shared last year. That is another winner that's always on our breakfast or brunch holiday table. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe. If you try it, let me know what you think. I really do always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. It was good. And I love the nutmeg in this. Go ahead, Rhett. What do you have to say to the camera? Oh, I got shell in there. What an amateur. I'm humbled.